Hello out there, YouTube. This is Mr. Rantek24. I don't know if Arky's watching or not, but I'm going to make her stove, and it's going to be a little video, and you all get to see how I make it too. And maybe you guys want to make your own or not. I don't know. The beer is very good. That's always the first thing you got to do is drink the beer. Okay. This is how I make mine. There's several ways of making them, but this is how I make mine. If you look, I marked it at 4 inches from the bottom. 4 inches, okay? Another thing too you need is one of these things. And what that is another, as you can see, I just cut the bottom of another one out. Okay? And you take a full can and you stick it inside of it and you push it all the way down, which expands that metal around there. Okay? Take that back out. That will be in later use. So, let me get this cut, and we'll go from there. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Hopefully I'm not talking too loud for the thing. I cut it at 4 inches, and I used my chop saw. I think you can see it's right, well, it's right there. That's what I use with a regular, just a metal blade on it, or a wood blade. It cuts them just fine. And what I did was I sanded the top up some, and if you look real close you can see the V's I put in there. Now you don't have to have those because usually when it crushes down it never meets perfect anyway, but I figured the time I don't put the V's in there, which is what I use this for, you know, it would meet perfect and it wouldn't get alcohol, but I just took this and went up and down on it and put 4 of them in there. Alright, and then your piece that's going to go on top here, you got to drill a hole in there to let the air escape, or it doesn't really want to crush very well. Alright, if you guys ever have any questions or something, just comment, or no, actually you're going to have to shoot me an email or a private message, because I don't get me wrong, I read comments, but I might slip by me. But I'm going to get this thing set up in the press, and I'll show you how it works. Then we'll drill some holes, alright? So, we'll get back to you with you in a minute. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry I'm in the camera. I'll try to edit that out. Okay, this is my big, fabulous press setup. This is how I do them. It's not very technical, but this is how I do it. You want to get that in there in the center. And this is where I press up against, but this top piece is going to go on here. But to make it work a little bit better, you just want a little bit of WD-40 in here. And let it go around in there, and it lubricates. It'll just help out a little bit. Okay? So you're going to stick that on top here. Alright, you're going to stick that there in the center. And you're going to stick another one on top. And you got to make sure you're in the center of the wood, or it's going to go all crooked on you. Alright, it's there. This is my fabulous setup. So, let's see if we can get this thing to back off. We're on film, John. My son's back there saying naughty words. And he forgot we was filming. But that's okay. Oh, by the way, I don't know if Florida Dan's looking or not, but before we do any more crushing, wow, is that a pretty car. Man, look at that one. Alright, I don't have my handle for the jack, I can't find it. So let's make sure we're in the center here. It's looking good. Okay, let's do this. And as you can see, it's starting to come down. And you can usually tell when you reach the end, it'll have some resistance. I think we're there. So, let's take it out, see if it's ruined or not. Sometimes they don't come out right. It's just, I don't know, it's a beer can. Alright, doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. It's a little wrinkled there, but it's a beer can. If I had a better way of doing this, I could probably get it better. But that's where we're at right now. We'll clean this up, mark it, and we'll drill some holes in it. I think we're done. Arky will have a nice alcohol stove. Alright, we'll go from there. Where's my magic marker at? It's right there. Oh, it's already filming. Alright, I'm going to show you guys how I mark this thing. It's not rocket science. Everybody has those templates and stuff, but my template's built right in my head. What I do is I take this thing and I go here, and I go straight across, and then I do the same thing here, and go straight across. And then I start splitting the difference of those two, and then these two, and then these two, and then these two. So then what I do now is I just do it again. Trying to figure out where I was at. It doesn't matter. If you get 16, 18 holes is what you need. Or I'm going to try 9 holes one. It's not golf, but I'm going to try 9 holes one day to see if it's any better. Another thing you can do is you take this, you put your marker down here, and then spin it around. And that's where you're going to drill them at. You just cross your lines over, see? And all this marker will come off. They say it's permanent magic marker, but we know better. It doesn't have to be perfect, unless you want your stove perfect, I guess. Alright, there it is. We're ready to do some drilling. I'll set you up over there and we're going to do some drilling. Okay, now we're set up in the drill press. Little mini drill press. Don't worry about all that booze back there. And I have it set so it only drills down a little bit. You don't want to drill too far, you'll go all the way through the thing. And just drill your holes. I'll get better at this filming stuff. It's the first time I use my tripod, so we'll get better at it as the time goes on. They're not hard to make. There's another way of making them too that actually look a little bit nicer than this. Maybe I'll do a video on that. And we have a malfunction. Alright. Our holes are drilled. I don't know if you can see that or not. But we have to do 2 extra holes. And where we're going to do them are inside here. And what that does is, if you don't put them holes in there, this thing lights up and you put a cold pot of water in there. For some reason it extinguishes it. And all them guys that make these things don't tell you about them holes that have to go inside there. So what I usually do is I just turn this back on and I just do 2 little holes. About a 1/4 inch or so down, 1/2 inch down. Not all the way through. 1 on each side. They're right in there. I hope you guys can see that. Alright, we're going to wipe this thing down. We're going to put some stuff in it, and we're going to light it up and do a little test fire. So we'll be right back with you here. Okay, and we're back, and there's the stove. I cleaned all the stuff off of it, just with some alcohol. We got some alcohol here. We carry ours in these little Coke bottles. We just put a big A on top. We'll probably put something on the sides too, but it just hasn't happened yet. So let's put some in here and see how it goes. We won't fill her all the way up, but if you fill this thing all the way up, it'll burn for, well, 24 minutes. Yeah, okay, so here you go, Arky. We're test burning. That's all you got to do. I'm sure you've seen these before. You gotta let that sit there for, let that alcohol start to burn, and it should flame up. It's a little chilly in here, but the colder it gets, it takes a little bit longer to bloom up, but it should be alright. I'll turn the light out once it starts going so you can see it, how it works. It's not windy in here too. If you was outside, you'd want to put some rocks around it or some kind of a shield for the flame. Let's turn this light off. We'll get ready for it to bloom up. Actually, let's turn the light back on. It's not blooming yet. It's the blooming onion. Still, it takes about a minute. But it's when it's up. Here we go. We're starting to work. So let's. As you can see, they'll all light up sooner or later. We've got two that's not lit yet. 2 or 3, I think. That I don't know why. There might be something in the holes, a little bit of shavings or something, and it hasn't come through yet. But I'll clean those out to make sure. That's why I like to test burn them. We must have 2 holes that just has a little bit of metal or something in there, and it just hasn't. The fumes can't come up through or something. And you just set your pot on top, and it's just like a burner at home. Worked really well. Not bad for out of a beer can. Well, beer bottle, I guess. So, Arky, I will make sure those 2 things are cleared out for you so that everything should be fine. And once you give me your address, and this will be shipped out to you. Alright, I think we're doing good. Turn the light back on. We'll let that burn out. I didn't put a whole lot in there. It should only burn about 10 minutes or so, I hope. But that's how it works. So if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Alright. Adios, Rantek, Mr. Rantek24 over and out.